Force yourself to move forward alone. Nobody is coming to save you. Read that again. Nobody is coming. Not your family, not your friends, not the person you loved, not the universe dropping a miracle at your doorstep. The life you are dreaming about will not build itself while you sit and wait for someone to show up and help you carry it. And the sooner you accept that brutal truth, the sooner you become the most dangerous version of yourself. This is not a message of bitterness. This is a message of liberation. Because the moment you stop waiting and start moving, everything in your life begins to change. The myth of waiting for support. We grow up believing that someone will always be there. A parent who cheers you on. A friend who believes in your vision. A partner who pushes you forward. A mentor who sees your potential and guides you to greatness. And for some people, those things exist. But for many of us, we look around one day and realize that the support we were counting on simply is not there. Maybe your family does not understand what you are trying to build. Maybe your friends are comfortable where they are and secretly hope you stay comfortable too. Maybe the people who were supposed to be in your corner have their own wounds, their own fears, their own battles that leave nothing left over for you. And so you wait. You delay your dreams. You shrink your ambitions. You tell yourself that you will start when things get easier, when people get more supportive, when life gives you a better foundation. But that day never comes. And another year passes. And you are still standing at the same starting line wondering why nothing has changed. The answer is because nobody moves for you. Nobody can. That was never the deal. The deal was always that you move yourself. What moving alone actually means. Moving forward alone does not mean you become cold. It does not mean you close your heart to connection or push people away out of pride. It means you stop making your progress conditional on the presence or approval of others. It means you build while waiting for no one. It means your dreams do not need a cosigner. There is a version of you that exists beyond the approval of other people. A version that wakes up before the sun not because someone told you to but because you made a promise to yourself. A version that keeps going after failure not because someone cheered you on but because quitting feels worse than struggling. A version that builds something real from nothing because the hunger inside you is louder than the silence around you. That version of you is already there. It is just waiting for you to choose it. The loneliness that builds you. Let us talk honestly about loneliness because it is the part of this journey that nobody warns you about. When you decide to move forward alone, there will be seasons that are deeply, painfully quiet. Seasons where you are working hard and nobody notices. Seasons where you are growing and the people around you cannot see it yet. Seasons where you celebrate your wins by yourself because there is nobody there to celebrate with you. That loneliness is real. Do not pretend it is not. Do not cover it with productivity or bury it in busyness. Feel it fully. Sit with it. And then understand something that will change the way you see everything. Loneliness is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are being separated for something greater. Every person who has ever built something extraordinary had a season of silence before the world paid attention. Every breakthrough has a before season that looks like nothing is happening. The tree grows its roots underground long before anyone sees the branches reach toward the sky. Your silent season is your root season. It is not wasted time. It is the foundation being laid for everything that is coming. Trust the process even when the process looks invisible. Why people will not always support you. Here is something that will sting a little but will also set you free. The people closest to you are sometimes the least equipped to support your growth. Not because they do not love you, but because your progress forces them to confront their own stagnation. When you start changing, when you start building, when you start becoming more than who you were yesterday, it holds up a mirror to those who are standing still. Some people will cheer you on. But others will go quiet. Others will find small ways to discourage you. Others will remind you of your past failures whenever you speak about your future dreams. Others will call your ambition arrogance and your focus selfishness. Do not take it personally. Their resistance is not really about you. It is about them. It is about the dreams they buried, the risks they never took, the versions of themselves they gave up on long ago. Your growth reminds them of their own unlived life, and that is uncomfortable for people who are not ready to face it. So release them with love. Stop auditioning for their approval. Stop explaining your vision to people who were never meant to be your audience. Not everyone deserves a seat at the table of your dreams. Be selective about who you allow into the sacred space of your ambitions. Becoming your own greatest supporter. If nobody is cheering for you right now, you have to become your own loudest voice. You have to look yourself in the mirror every single morning and speak life into the person staring back at you. You have to be the hype, the encouragement, the accountability, and the celebration all at once. This is not narcissism. This is survival. This is what it looks like to take full responsibility for your own momentum. Start celebrating your small wins privately. Nobody needs to know about the chapter you finished, the workout you completed, the boundary you held, the temptation you overcame. You know. And that is enough. Build a relationship with yourself where your own validation means something. Where your own opinion of yourself is the one that carries the most weight in the room. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are doing a good job. Tell yourself. Stop waiting for someone to notice your progress. Notice it yourself. Stop waiting for permission to be proud of who you are becoming. Give yourself that permission right now. The discipline of moving when you do not feel like it. Here is the part that separates the people who talk about their dreams from the people who actually live them. Motivation is a feeling. And feelings come and go. There will be mornings when you wake up on fire, ready to conquer the world, full of energy and purpose and drive. And there will be mornings when you feel empty, heavy, exhausted, and completely disconnected from every goal you ever set. Both days require the same action. Discipline is not something you feel. It is something you practice. It is the decision to show up anyway, to do the work anyway, to keep the promise you made to yourself anyway, regardless of how the weather inside your mind feels on any given day. The people who get ahead are not always the most talented. They are not always the most gifted or the most connected or the most supported. They are the ones who show up consistently when it would be easier to stop. They are the ones who do the unglamorous work behind closed doors that nobody ever sees or applauds. Build that muscle. Start small if you have to. Keep one promise to yourself today. Then another tomorrow. Then another the day after. Over time, those small kept promises become an unshakable belief in yourself that no circumstance can touch. Using pain as your fuel. Every person who has ever been overlooked, underestimated, abandoned, or dismissed has a choice. You can let that pain become an anchor that holds you in place. Or you can let it become a rocket that launches you somewhere nobody expected you to reach. Think about the people who doubted you. Think about the doors that closed in your face. Think about the relationships that left you emptier than they found you. Think about the opportunities that passed you by, the jobs you did not get, the investments that did not pay off, the prayers that seemed to go unanswered. Now use every single one of those moments as fuel. Not out of bitterness. Not out of revenge. But out of a deep, quiet, relentless determination to prove to yourself, not to them, but to yourself, that none of that gets to be the end of your story. Pain is one of the most powerful motivators in the world when you learn to channel it correctly. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders in history were not people who had perfect lives. They were people who took their broken pieces and built something beautiful with them. You can do the same. The power of silence and solitude. In a world that never stops talking, there is radical power in going quiet. In doing your work without announcing it. In building without updating everyone on your progress. In moving so focused and so intentionally that by the time people look up, you are already somewhere they never expected you to reach. Silence protects your energy. Every time you explain your plans to the wrong person, you risk having your fire extinguished by their doubt. Every time you seek validation before you have even begun, you give someone else power over whether you start. Stop talking so much about what you are going to do and just do it. Solitude sharpens your mind. When you spend time alone, truly alone, not distracted by screens or noise or other people's opinions, you begin to hear yourself clearly for the first time. You hear what you actually want, not what you were told to want. You hear where you actually want to go, not where other people's expectations have been steering you. That clarity is worth more than any advice anyone could ever give you. Protect your solitude. Guard your silence. Let your results be the loudest thing about you. What happens when you keep going alone? Here is what most people never get to see because they stop too soon. When you keep moving forward alone long enough, something incredible begins to happen. The right people start to find you. Not the people who were there when you were comfortable and convenient to be around. Not the ones who only show up in good seasons. But the ones who recognize your consistency, your hunger, your realness. The ones who are on a similar path and understand without explanation what it costs to keep going. The ones who add to your fire instead of trying to put it out. You will find your people. But you have to become the person worthy of them first. And that becoming happens in the quiet, hard, unglamorous season of moving forward alone. Your circumstances will begin to shift too. Doors that were once closed will begin to open because you kept knocking. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin to appear because you put yourself in position to receive them. The life you imagined while lying awake in the dark will begin to take shape in the daylight because you refused to stop building even when you could not yet see the finished picture. A word to the one who is tired. If you are reading this in a season where you are exhausted, where you have been carrying everything by yourself for so long that your shoulders ache and your spirit feels worn thin, this part is for you. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to rest. Rest is not quitting. Rest is refueling. Give yourself permission to pause without punishing yourself for pausing. Breathe. Sleep. Eat. Sit in the sun. Let your nervous system remember what peace feels like. But do not confuse rest with giving up. Do not let a temporary season of exhaustion convince you to make a permanent decision about your future. The tiredness you feel right now is not evidence that you cannot make it. It is evidence that you have been fighting harder than most people ever will. And fighters rest. Then they get back up. You are going to get back up. The decision that changes everything. At some point on this journey you will arrive at a moment of decision. A moment where you have to choose once and for all what kind of person you are going to be. Not the kind that waits for perfect conditions. Not the kind that needs applause to keep moving. Not the kind that shrinks when the crowd goes silent. But the kind that moves anyway. The kind that builds in the dark. The kind that keeps promises to themselves even when nobody is watching. The kind that treats their own dreams with the same seriousness and devotion that others reserve only for the dreams that come with an audience. That decision is available to you right now. Not tomorrow. Not when things get easier. Not when someone finally believes in you. Right now. In this moment. With whatever you have, wherever you are, however small the first step feels. Take it. Nobody is coming to save you. And that is the greatest gift you will ever receive. Because it means everything from here is yours. Your effort, your growth, your failure, your comeback, your victory, all of it belongs to you completely. No one can take credit for what you build when you build it alone. And no one can stop you either. So force yourself to move forward. One step at a time. One day at a time. One decision at a time. Even when it is hard. Especially when it is hard. Because the life waiting for you on the other side of your consistency is worth every quiet, lonely, difficult, beautiful step of this journey. Now get up. And go build it. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, do not leave without subscribing to this channel right now. Every single day we create content that helps you grow stronger, think clearer, heal deeper, and build a life that actually belongs to you. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and become part of a community of people who refuse to give up on themselves no matter what. Your best chapter is still ahead of you. And we want to be here for every single step of it. Subscribe now and let us keep growing together.